Ryder Darrell Owens, LegacyMaker Sports Network. We are here live from the Siegel Center. Tonight's matchup between the VCU Rams and the Richmond Spiders is about to go down. So the tip is in about, we got about a minute or two. So once again, thank you all for tuning into the LegacyMaker Sports Network. It's going to be a live audio broadcast. Myself and Mr. Russ Telefero will be bringing you to action. So be ready for some great action here from the Siegel Center. Once again, Darrell Owens, LegacyMaker Sports Network. We'll see you in a little bit.
How's it sound?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your man, Darrell Owens. And alongside with me today is my guy, Mr. Russ Telefero. We will be bringing you the action from the Siegel Center. Hashtag Battle of the 804, as we'll have the Richmond Spiders come across town to take on the VCU Rams. And the last two times these two faced off against each other, VCU came over with a 54-51 victory in Richmond. So we will be bringing you the broadcast today. Once again, we are glad to be here. We'll be back after this moment of silence. All right, so we had a moment of silence for former VCU Ram Robin Hobson, who lost her battle with pancreatic cancer. 4 years in the battle, so our love and support goes out to their families. But I am here with my man, Russ Telefero. Russ, back in the building, brother. How's it feel?
It's always a good one, especially VCU versus Richmond. It's something exciting. The 90th meeting between the two. VCU has an edge 47-42 overall in the series. But there's something different about these two teams when they play either Robin Center or here at the Siegel Center. It's always a good game. It's always fun.
Well, the last time these two teams played, me and you were there during the broadcast, it was 54-51, and VCU gets the victory. Now, the time before then was here, and Addie Budnick with the game-winning layup, 64-62. So it's like they're trading shots, but at the other person's place. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what Richmond could do tonight. They were on a 3-game winning streak coming into this one. Then they lost. They had a 3-game winning streak, lost to Duquesne, and so right now they're 3 out of their last 4. 16 wins on the season. This is tied for Coach Purcell's. Richmond Markley had 16 wins last year, so VCU kind of a little bit on the downside. But VCU always comes to play when Richmond is involved.
Definitely, for sure. It's something about that 804 battle that makes a difference. And speaking of Addie Budnick, I want to say she's 27 points away, somewhere in that 20 to 30 range of becoming the 27th woman to score 1,000 points for the Richmond Spiders.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see someone, especially since she's a junior. She's going to move higher up that list and make her name as definitely one of the best fighters to play the game.
Well, she right now currently at 972, so 28 points away. So your vision was right on the mark there. So 28 points away from getting this career achievement for her. And it's funny, she'll bump right into the top 25. Some of the greats that we've covered that are on that list.
The Pearson sisters?
Yeah, the Pearsons. Well, Alex is not on, but Micaiah is.
Oh, well, just the Grace that we covered, period.
Yeah. So Michaela and Jade Hines-Clark also on that list. So this will be the third person we get an opportunity to see make their way onto that list. So we've got a fun one tonight. The starting lineups are being introduced as we speak. VCU starting lineup is this. We got Janika Griffith-Wallace, who's averaging 9 points per game. She'll be starting at the 2. Tamaya Lewis Utsi, she's coming into the guard from FAMU. She went to Florida A&M, and now she transferred over to here. She's averaging 7.2 points per game. We got Grace Hudson, who had a phenomenal game the last time we were out here. She started off with the threes and just kind of got the momentum going for VCU.
Yeah, she had a great game. She was knocking them down from long. She's making hustle plays too, which is a signature of Coach Beth Overall.
Yeah, and then you got Elsie Moitekite. She's coming in. This is the first time we've seen her start, but we have seen her play. And then we have Mikkel Parham. That's the starting lineup of VCU. For the Spiders, you got the ever so dangerous and speedy guard, Grace Townsend, starting at the one position, averaging 10.5 points a game. Then you have Katie Hill, averaging 10.2 points per game. She had a really good game the last game that we had a chance to broadcast. Addie Budnick coming in with 12.6 points a game. She is maybe the unquestioned leader on this team in her junior season. And then we got Maggie Dugan, the two-time freshman of the week here. And so we got it's going to be a good one tonight. Two teams battling out, Russ. I'm ready for this one.
I'm excited to see what happens with Richmond, how they play against VCU. Because Richmond right now on the season has 4 players averaging over 10 points per game, and all of them shooting over 40%. How does VCU's defense go up against that? That's my question.
But that's what we're going to see tonight. Now, this Spiders team has also been shooting the ball extremely well. So I'm very intrigued to see how they shoot the ball tonight and see if they can get that rolling. And the first quarter here at the Siegel Center is underway. Katie Hill has control of it here for the Spiders. Takes a couple dribbles at the top of the key. We'll give it over to Dugan. New Spider uniforms here that I've seen with the last name at the bottom, and it's stolen by Lewis Utsi.
I think they might have changed the color because I'm not used to seeing the red in the last names. But speaking of shooting, Spiders are second best shooting in Atlantic 10.
Yes,
second
right
best
there.
shooting team, so they shoot lights out and they're efficient.
Lewis Utsi taking control of the basketball, gives it over to Hudson on the wing, and she dribbles towards the A10 logo, takes a step back. That one hits off the left side of the rim, rebound by Addie Budnick.
Hometown kid, Grace Townsend.
So Townsend now has control on the wing, hands it off to Dugan. Dugan takes a couple of dribbles, being guarded by Hudson inside to Budnick, and Budnick is being guarded by Mortatike. And we got a traveling violation on Addie Budnick. And it will be VCU basketball. Janika Griffith-Wallace bringing the ball up the floor here for the Rams.
My favorite player.
Over to Lewis Utsi. Then to Hudson. Hudson has it on the wing, takes a dribble, gives it to Parham. Parham hands it off to Hudson. And now Hudson being guarded by Siobhan Ryan. Inside to Parham. Parham with the reverse, trying to get the first buckets of this contest, and no. Rebound Richmond.
Budnick playing good defense down low.
Budnick now driving inside after the pass from Ryan. Oh, little shimmy move here, trying to go with the up and under, and it's off the glass, but a rebound by Parham. VCU now up the floor here. 8 minutes and 26 seconds left in this first period, and we still are scoreless. Griffith-Wallace floats it up. Rebound Budnick.
Not surprising, but they both kind of seem like they're rushing a little bit to take their shots, and they score so far in the first couple minutes.
Grace Townsend straight to the basket. Nothing but space and opportunity, but it doesn't go in, Russ.
It's that flash in the pan right there. Got all the ingredients, just didn't finish the recipe.
Lewis Utsi has it in the wing, trying to work the dribble magic against Katie Hill, and gives it back to Griffith-Wallace, the senior.
Surprise, surprise, that's my favorite matchup of the night. Griffith-Wallace versus Townsend. Because Griffith-Wallace has a couple inches on Townsend, so, not to be mistaken.
With the shot clock expiring, Siobhan Ryan blocks Grace Hudson's shot, and up the floor come the Spiders. Ryan was trying to get to the basket. Grace Hudson with a little bit of revenge there. She's able to knock the ball away, but it will stay with Richmond. And Grace Townsend will take the ball out. 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and we have a foul. And it looks to be on Lewis Uzi.
Off the ball foul on the inbound. Guess it was a bad screen or something she was trying to run through.
So Townsend dumps it over to Budnick after the inbounds. Tried a little spin move, give it over to Katie Hill on the wing, who drives to the basket, blocked by Parham.
Nasty look in her face like, you ain't scored that.
No, they didn't want no parts of it. As it knocks out of bounds. It's 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first period. Budnick has it at the top, and then we'll swing it over to Grace Townsend. Townsend calling out some direction here for her teammates. She stops, thinks about it. Siobhan Ryan, 3. Excuse me, that was Dugan. Dugan shot the 3 on that one, and that one doesn't go. Rebound for.
I think Townsend was trying to get a mismatch down low. Lewis Uzi was guarding Budnick down in the post. Just couldn't get to her because Lewis Uzi was not allowing an easy pass down low for sure.
Hudson over to Griffin Wallace. Wallace gives it to Uzi inside, and she's met by a couple of trees. And then Parham tries to get the rebound and put it in. A good second chance opportunity. She's fouled.
Yeah, trying to rush it down low. Lewis Uzi, not the greatest shot, but I think both teams are getting a little chippy, maybe a little anxious trying to get their first points because we're almost 4 minutes in this game now.
And nobody scored yet.
Nobody has scored yet. They're both getting a little anxious.
Still trying to kind of feel themselves out. You can definitely feel that in this contest, but this is a big matchup. Kind of for both teams because this is VCU's last home game of the year. And then Richmond, this is not a home game, but it's technically a home game to an extent, only being 30 minutes away. And then on top of that, you'll see them at home on Saturday. So you still got a couple opportunities here. And we do have 1 point now, though. Paul was able to make one of their free throws.
I mean, Richmond has an easy travel schedule to end the season, of course. VCU and then home. Get to sleep in their own bed both games.
Get ready for the Atlantic 10 tournament next week.
VCU, I think in particular, of course, with them not being a top seed, they're just going to go on and make some noise.
Oh, nice move by Mikael Parham. Beautiful up and under. Puts it off the glass for 2. 3-0 VCU.
Parham's one of those role players here on VCU that just doesn't always get the spotlight, but she's in almost every single play.
She is. She is a distraction in a good way for the VCU Rams.
For sure. Definitely, I would say one of the grittiest players VCU has.
The 3 is knocked down by Dugan. Maggie Dugan, the 2-time freshman of the week here in the A-10 this season, knocks it down. This game is tied up at 3.
Richmond's got some good potential. Maggie Dugan averaging 11 points into this game, coming into this game for the season.
Hudson's 3. Off the right side of the rim, rebound by Grace Townsend. Townsend pushing it up the floor. And Townsend a little move over to Budnick for 3. Knocks it down, Addie Budnick. So Addie Budnick gives the Spiders their first lead, 6-3. 5 minutes and 25 seconds left in this first period.
No surprise, Richmond's shooting pretty good to start the game. 2 for 3 on threes, 2 for 6 on regular field goals.
And so it looks like there'll be a foul on the floor. So they gave it to Katie Hill. Katie Hill's the recipient of the foul as we see Sydney Boone come in for Grace Townsend. And then we have Sam Robinson as well as Keola Walters coming in for VCU. Now, what I love about Richmond, Russ, is that even though you take Grace Townsend out the game, there's no slowdown at the point guard position because Sydney Boone comes in and she does an extremely great job.
Oh, God, she's a motor with a never-ending battery. And that's the beautiful thing about even just, you could say that against both teams, especially with VCU still playing without Tibiasu with a hurt leg on the side. It doesn't matter who's in there. They're going to push their pace.
Lewis Uzi's elbow jump shot doesn't go. We got a rebound. Oh, it's knocked away. Katie Hill had got the rebound, but it's taken by Lewis Uzi.
Good recovery.
Waiting for some of her teammates to get back down the floor so VCU can reset some things. 4 minutes and 48 seconds here in the first period.
Another one of those high-efficiency role players, Lewis Uzi for VCU.
Inside to Walters. Walters in the block, back to Lewis Uzi. And her 3 hits off the left side, a rebound by Dugan. Sydney Boone has control here on the wing, being guarded by Griffith Wallace. Uses the pick from Dugan, goes up to the top, and the ball is thrown out of bounds.
Looks like a miscommunication there on the pass.
And it will be VCU basketball. And we have our first media timeout here with the score right now, 6-3. Richmond is up. And so a good thing to see here is Richmond holds a 6-3 lead over VCU. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, in just a second with our, after this media timeout, to bring you some more coverage here from the Siegel Center.
Realty help you take your first step of making your dream.
Been here for more than 3 years? Bye.
A reality and say yes to the address. Contact her at 804-852-5045 or by email at smtaylor804@gmail.com. Do you need an expert music producer for instrumentals, beats, for podcasts, commercials, or even your own songs? Contact A-Biz Productions via email at adb2keys, that's the number 2, at yahoo.com. If you found yourself in a jam and need help getting your vehicle out of a tough situation, Bernard's Towing is there to help you get your car where you need it to be. Remember, call us once and you'll be hooked. Contact us at 804-380-2774 or at 804-495-5111. Cleveland's Auto Repair. Looking for everyday maintenance, such as oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, or even a diagnostic type of work? Contact Cleveland Auto Repair today at 804-350-0459.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back as the first quarter will continue here. 4 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock. Richmond is up 6-3, and VCU has possession of the basketball to get started.
God, boss, I miss the Peppers. I hate that we had to wait until the end of the season to get the Peppers in the building, but God, I love that music so much.
Whoa. Griffin Wallace's layup takes a couple of bounces and does not go, but VCU's able to get the rebound. Asari takes a couple of dribbles and gives it over to Griffin Wallace. Robinson driving, gives it inside to Asari. And it looks like there may be a foul on the floor. 3 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first period. And Griffin Wallace takes a couple dribbles over to Lewis Uzi. Used a little bit of the elbow there to get some space for the jump shot. Doesn't go, but Keough Walters gets the rebound.
I don't know where it is, but there's no boxing out by Richmond.
At all.
They could have had both rebounds if they just paid attention and looked at the bucket.
Lewis Uzi over to Asari. Asari takes a couple dribbles inside to Keough Walters, and a traveling violation against Walters.
That's unfortunate.
That's another thing we hope we don't see in this contest. Remember the last time we were here? It was a
traveling contest.
Yes.
Like, which team is going to get more? I really wish I had looked up before we started this broadcast the numbers from traveling calls of the last game.
Yeah, that was back on the Education Day, February 1st, when we had that one, and it was craziness.
They're going to educate you what a travel is.
Yeah. And Richmond losing control there. Sidney Boone, and here come the rounds. Griffin Wallace behind the back, decides to back it out. Thought about the three, gives over to Asari, who will take the three. Hits off the left side, rebound Ryan.
I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Russell calls a timeout soon. It's just back-to-back bad plays, losing the ball, no boxing out, no paying attention for rebounds, a bad up and under a reverse layup there. Just they need to slow down a little bit as we see Grace Townsend getting ready to check back in.
It doesn't seem they got everything clicking just yet here for Richmond, but they still hold a 6-3 lead, and that tells you how things have gone so far in this contest.
Rush shots, but somehow Richmond's still shooting pretty good.
Oh, Budnick with a block on Griffin Wallace. Richmond has control. Boone on the wing. Goes for the three. Sidney Boone's three hits off the front of the rim. Rebound by Alstrom. Alstrom takes a couple dribbles, gives it over to Ryan on the wing. Back to Boone at the top. Boone over to Alstrom. Gives it off to Ryan in the corner. Now she's driving towards the basket. Tries to do a little finger roll there, but is knocked away by Harris.
I wonder who's coming out. Oh, Boone's coming out. Okay.
So Boone will come out and Townsend comes in, and we may see a Boone come out, but we have a Bloom coming in, and Sarah Bloom for VCU.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Addie Budnick has played this whole first quarter.
Yes, she has.
That's a gas tank right there because Coach herself must have way so much faith in her.
There's a three attempt there by Budnick. Hits off the backside of the rim and rolls out of bounds. It will be VCU basketball. So far, both teams not looking pretty from field goal percentage.
Unless you look at Richmond's three-point shooting. Even that's kind of low a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It's not looking pretty at the current time.
VCU shooting under 10% right now. 1 for 13. They have 1 point from the free throw line and 1 field goal.
VCU has possession. Palm is going to hand it off to Harris. And Asia Harris is in now for VCU. Asari's three is, jump shot is kind of blocked there, but he still was able to get it up, but it hits off the backboard. Rebound by Harris over to Moitakite. Asari back to Moitakite. Over to Harris. Nice ball movement here by VCU. But hurry up. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Bloom inside. Ooh. But great defense there by Kayla Williams and Grace Townsend.
I think they could have had a good down low shot if they had a little bit more time in the shot clock.
Siobhan Ryan takes a early three there in that possession, but it will go out of bounds and it will stay with Richmond.
Chloe Bloom fighting for the rebound down there. Good effort. Get the ball knocked out of bounds. Still Richmond ball, though.
We got 1:14. And another miss for Richmond. Bloom gets the rebound. 6-3. Asari driving to the basket with the left off the glass for two. Mariana Asari puts it in. It's a 6-5 contest. 55 seconds left.
She saw an opportunity to drive down low and took it. She was not going to be discouraged by any sort of defense. Just ripped right through it.
And now VCU has a chance to take the lead. 6-5, 42 seconds left here in the first period. Asari being guarded by Townsend. And she hands it off to Harris. Harris will dribble up that's coming towards us, but Moitakite is able to retrieve it. Now she's driving inside. Spin move off the glass. Oh. Took a weird bounce off the front of the rim. Rebound by Siobhan Ryan.
That was a beautiful spin move. I hate to not see the finish there. She deserved that one.
So with 16 seconds left, Richmond going to play for the last shot here. Grace Townsend has it by the C in the VCU logo here in the middle of the court. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Grace Townsend driving. 4 seconds. Tries to get something going. Finds Williams inside with 1 second, and it will not go. And we will end the first quarter with a blaze of glory there. 6-5. Richmond is up as they have an early lead, but a rough quarter for both teams, Russ.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about these teams. When we covered them this year, they always seem to have a slow start in the first quarter.
Yes.
So I'm not surprised. It seems like they're trying to come out, rush a little bit, take some not great shot selection, surprising. And just it takes them like a quarter or two, almost like a quarter and a half to kind of warm up. So I'd expect these teams to come out, at least one of these teams to come out firing in the second quarter for sure.
Yeah, we've kind of seen that trend throughout the year. So I'm intrigued to see who's going to be that person to step up. It's usually that really one weird quarter in the first half. And they've kind of taken turns on it. So we'll see what happens.
If anything, my money, no offense, would be on Richmond. They're the second best shooting team in the Atlantic 10. VCU takes a little bit longer to warm up, but I still think both teams should have a pretty good shooting quarter here to see get better than. It can't get much worse than the first quarter.
No, not at all.
It really can't.
Not at all. It was a little bit rough.
Yeah,
just a little bit rough.
Just a little bit. Like VCU can't get much worse than 12% shooting from the field, and Richmond can't get much worse than 15.
I mean, and like I said, they have played, pretty well, and it's kind of hard to see it like this at this point. But this is what we got.
Yep. Both teams with 2 shots made.
And the hashtag battle of 804 is starting off a little light for both teams.
Richmond 2 for 6 from 3, 2 for 13 overall. VCU has that 1 point from the free throw line, 2 regular shots, 2 for 17, 0 for 4 from 3.
Right now, both teams combined 4 for 30 from the floor. And that's going to have to change here, or we're going to be in for a long evening here in the hashtag battle for the 804.
Yeah, that's great. I will say, if anything, if you look at the first quarter stat sheet, they have a combined 27 rebounds. That's the first quarter.
A lot of offensive rebounds there for VCU.
No doubt. No doubt. So I think VCU's got 5 offensive rebounds compared to 3 on Richmond's. But then Richmond beat them back with 11 defensive versus 8 defensive. So they both have a little bit of an edge over the other in rebounds. It's just shot selection's got to be better. Execution's got to be better.
Well, it will be VCU. So Parham is going to take it out here for VCU. So on the floor for VCU, you got Parham, Griffin, Wallace, Bloom, Hudson, and Lewis Uzi. For Richmond, you have Ryan, Townsend, Dugan, Williams, and you have Alstrom. 6'5".
Surprisingly, Budnick's not in the game.
A little blow there. I think they shouldn't miss too much with Dugan and Williams on the floor. Both long, very athletic. And he's got his long lineup in there right now. Knocked away by Ryan, and Alstrom has possession. Another dangerous person from the outside. You got to watch out for her if she gets space. Alstrom dribbles a couple, hands it over to Ryan, who goes to the top of the key. And Hudson now has, not Hudson, but Townsend has possession on the wing. Drives inside, kicks it out to Kayla Williams, who's got the corner 3. And rebound for VCU. Now Hudson has possession of the basketball. Over to Palm. Griffin Wallace from the wing. Over to Lewis Uzi in the corner, back to Griffin Wallace, who now takes it to the top.
I'm interested to see what VCU's play is going to be like with Bloom and Parham in there. Parham's more like the pick and roll big. Bloom is more the down low big.
With 3 seconds on the shot clock, they got to do something quick. Parham, she barely gets it up, and it hits nothing but glass, and that will be a shot clock violation. As we see Budnick and Christopher Grava come into the contest for Richmond.
I think I cursed her. I jinxed her. Budnick was actually enjoying a little bit of
I think you did. I think just a little bit. 8 minutes and 40 seconds here in the second period.
Let the woman take a break.
Richmond has a 6-5 lead. Townsend will hand it off to Alstrom.
But even that's a beautiful thing, though. Like, even with Budnick on the bench, they still have 3 other double-digit scorers on the season.
That's true. So they're not in a bad spot as that pass goes out of bounds. They're looking to try to do a bounce pass, but that bad boy went out of bounds and hit off the Yeatman group sign underneath the goal.
And to more of that, like, one of those double-digit scorers is the freshman, Maggie Dugan.
Exactly.
The potential there with her, Grace Townsend still a junior, Budnick still a junior. Next year's Richmond team should be dangerous.
They don't have, and that's the thing, that the senior-wise, it's not there's not a lot of seniors on this team. You got the graduate student and Krista Grava, and then you got Elena Chapman, who's been out and had a career-ending injury. Griffin Wallace knocks it down on the baseline to give VCU a 7-6 lead.
My favorite Ram.
And then you got Angel Burgos, and those are your seniors for Richmond.
Yeah, it's not an old team. It's kind of in the middle. Like we've been here a little bit, but we're not as experienced as other teams. But they have a lot of dangerous potential there. With this team just gelling more, Maggie Dugan finding her place in the team, being a freshman and the second leading scorer on the team. Budnick with I guess she's the senior classman here, so to speak, even though she's just a junior.
Well, they're in a good spot. 4 juniors next year. They will lose, some big-time people next year with Townsend. And you lose Townsend and Lynn Wadowski along with
Townsend's a junior.
Yeah, but next year.
Oh, yeah, next year.
Yeah, so after next year, they're in a spot where they're not in bad shape because they still got a lot of sophomores and freshmen that are playing right now. So
you think of 24, 25.
I'm just a little bit.
You scared us a little bit.
I ain't mean to scare everybody.
Don't go too far.
I apologize, y'all. 7-6 VCU, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And VCU has possession. And they'll take it out. Not a lot of scoring so far in this one.
Give it some time. Give it some time.
Give it some time. Lewis Uti will take it out. Pass it over to Griffin Wallace. The top of the key for the perm now. Hudson has control. She'll swing the pass over to Lewis Uti. Great bounce pass inside the perm.
Beautiful pass.
And she cannot get it to go. It took a weird bounce off the back of the rim, hit off the front of the rim. But what a great pass by Hudson.
I think that was Lewis Uti.
It was the Lewis Uti?
Yeah.
So Lewis Uti with a great pass.
She had that vision just sniping it down low.
Just couldn't get it to go.
You can see Palm. She was upset about missing that one. That just looked like a bad bounce, unfortunately. But, the vision is there.
Townsend now has possession, drives towards the block and kicks it out to Budnick at the top, who drives towards the 8-10 logo, then kicks it back out to Townsend, who's at the top of the key.
I think Townsend could have had something if she kept going down low there instead of passing off to Budnick.
And so now Krista Grava had possession, and there's a foul against VCU.
Lewis Uti called for a second foul again already. Shoot.
And they're going to bring in Asari.
That sucks. Early foul trouble is never fun, especially when she's playing great. Maybe not be showing up on the scoreboard, but she's having a really good game so far. A tough, gritty game.
A lot of good hustle.
Yes. The hustle is real, like her name was Rick Ross.
6 minutes and 45 seconds, and Grace Townsend off the glass.
That's what I want to see from her, because she's passed up at least 2 shots. If she could have just went down low, especially on this possession where she went, she probably could have had a shot. But that aggression right there, I love seeing it.
And so Townsend gets the beautiful layup off the glass to make this an 8-7 game. 6:45 left in the second period, and Townsend's going to head to the line.
The Midlow VA hometown girl.
All day. The James River product knocks down the free throw, and it's a 9-7 Richmond game.
Converts her and one.
6 minutes and 43 seconds on the clock here in the second period. Asari takes a couple dribbles to Mortakite. Mortakite over to Asari. Now Walters sitting near the top of the key. And takes a nice little bounce there and finds his way into the basket.
Walters not afraid to take that shot right there.
I think they gave her a 3 on that one. And no, it was a 2.
I'm about to say, that looked like a clear 2 inside the circle boss.
So Asari off of the glass, rebound by Richmond.
Rush shot right there.
I saw it. I was like, wait a minute. I thought it was a 2 myself. But it definitely was a 2. Oh, Budnick steps in and knocks down the 20-foot jumper.
I ain't going to shoot it from here. I'm going to shoot it from there and make it.
3, don't need that. I'll take a step in and knock it down. 11-9 Richmond. 5 minutes and 52 seconds left in the second period. Griffin Wallace thought about it. Gives it over to Mortakite on the wing. She takes the dribble back to Griffin Wallace. Wallace will swing over to Palm near the top of the key. Then gives it over to Asari on the wing. Back to Palm near the elbow. Asari kicks it out. 6 seconds on the shot clock here. Griffin Wallace has to get it up quick. 2 seconds. Pull up on the elbow. Knocks it down.
Have faith. Have faith in Janika Griffin Wallace.
Oh, my goodness. Janika Griffin Wallace knocks down the elbow jumper to make this an 11-11 contest here with 5 minutes and 17 seconds.
See, I told you these teams were going to shoot a little bit better in the second quarter.
Hill to Eddie Budnick.
Speak of the devil.
And she knocks it down. The three, 14-11 Richmond.
Eddie Budnick, 8 points now. What did you say? She was 28 away from it?
Yeah, she was 28 away from the 1,000 mark.
I wouldn't be surprised if she hits 20, gets 20 more points right now.
11-14. Richmond up right now. 4 minutes and 48 seconds as Asari drives to the basket with the floater. Right. And the rebound by Townsend. She's got space. She's got opportunity. She's got a layup.
Ryan playing some hard defense down there. Sorry. Forcing them to make an attempt, a bad shot there.
16-11 Richmond. 4 minutes and 31 seconds. As Asari holds it at the top over the palm. Thought about handing it off to Mortikite. But look at the aggression there by Krista Grava. She was not going to let her hand the ball off as they dive onto the floor trying to get possession of the basketball here. And I think that may send us to our media timeout.
I think if I had to guess, out of the 2 or 3 times the players hit the floor, Parm's been involved at least a couple, almost every time.
Yeah, Parm's been on the ground. She ain't playing games.
She is hustling. I just realized, too, this is our first game we've covered since, or at least I've covered since VCU's new director
coach.
of player culture.
Yeah. Congratulations to Taya Robinson, who is now part of the VCU staff. Definitely something that we joked about in the last contest. We didn't know that she had got the position until 2 days later when they officially, and I think they officially announced it about a week or so later, excuse me. And there it was. So congratulations to Taya Robinson, the VCU great.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if she works her way up that coaching staff. She has a mind for defense that definitely could benefit any future Rams.
Yeah, and some people just have that heart and that hustle. And Taya Robinson is one of those people that have just that
tenacity.
Tenacity. That's a good one. That tenacity.
Yeah, the tenacity to play up and down on both sides of the court.
So we will be back here in just a second as the VCU Rams are down by 5 to the Richmond Spiders, 16-11. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first half.
Are you tired of being denied a home loan because of your credit score? Let Stephanie Taylor of Hometown Realty help you take your first step of making your dream a reality and say yes to the address. Contact her at 804-852-5045 or by email at smtaylor804@gmail.com. Do you need an expert music producer for instrumentals, beats, for podcasts, commercials, or even your own songs? Contact A-Biz Productions via email at adb2keys, that's the number 2, at yahoo.com. If you found yourself in a jam and need help getting your vehicle out of a tough situation, Menards Towing is there to help you get your car where you need it to be. Remember, call us once and you'll be hooked. Contact us at 804-380-2774 or at 804-495-5111.
Well, Russ, I heard they were giving out cheesecake, and I don't think we're getting any.
I want that free cheesecake, boss.
Yeah, man, I think it's either cheesecake or Charlie's cheese steaks. One way or the other, somebody's getting something and we're not, bro.
Cheese something.
Cheese was involved.
Allegedly, there was some cheese involved, some free food of some sort.
Where's Monterey Jack when you need him?
I'm a Pepper Jack fan myself.
Me too. Oh, I'm a big Pepper Jack guy.
Never mind the fact that there's a game going on. We talk about cheese. Well, I mean, while we're getting into it, boss, let our listeners know about us. I take Swiss cheese over anybody right now. there's some provolone too as well. Nothing beats a tuna and Swiss, though.
That sounds good. As Richmond has control of the basketball, and Rachel Alstrom will put the layup in to make it an 18-11 game, and Richmond has a 7-point lead here. 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the first half.
Oh, see, and there goes my favorite player, Janika Pepperjack Griffith-Wallace.
Is that her nickname?
I want to call her Pepperjack because she's got some spice to her and some grit, but you'll love her either way.
Wow, that's a good one, Russ. It's an 18-11. Sorry. Working against Townsend here. Bloom with the pick. She feeds Bloom. Bloom got to hurry up and get it up. 2 seconds. Floats it. Oh. And a rebound by Townsend.
Man, the shot almost goes in. Just hits off the back of the rim.
3:16 left in this first half. Townsend stopped near the key. Stopped near the elbow. Over to Budnick at the top of the key. Over to Ryan. Now Ryan has possession. Takes a one-handed bounce pass over to Budnick. She looks inside for Dugan, and that one floats over her head. Mortekite will give the rebound, and here comes the Rams.
Watch your step. Don't want to travel. There we go.
Anaja Harris inside the Bloom with the hook shot. Nice. And Chloe Bloom puts it in.
Inside. I almost thought that ball was going to sail over Harris's hands there, but she jumped up and grabbed that like a dang viper.
She was like, no, I'll take it.
I got this. Whoops.
18-13. Richmond up. Budnick's three. Ooh. Off the front of the rim. Harris had the rebound, lost control of it, and Dugan was there. So I think this one's going to get called against Harris. At least it should.
I think it might be possession error. Looks like it's pointing towards Richmond right now, so they may keep the ball here.
They said kickball. Oh. Intriguing.
Interesting call.
Yeah, very interesting. And Griffith Wallace comes in for Mortekite.
But I love to see the freshman hustle there from Dugan.
Yeah. 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
Did not realize how tall Dugan was, too, because she's not like maybe an inch shorter than Bloom right now. And they're standing right next to each other. But, like, Jesus Christmas.
6'2", Maggie Dugan from Broomall, Pennsylvania.
She is a tall flyer right now because she's a tall hustler.
Yeah.
She's a tall hustler. You know what I'm saying?
Richmond with possession. Ryan at the top of the key. Gives it over to Budnick, who's driving on that left side there against Asar. Finds Ryan. Corner three. Off the back of the rim. Rebound Sam Robinson, one of the captains of this VCU team. Hands it off to the other captain, Griffin Wallace.
Pepper Jack
hands it off to Harris. Driving on the right side is Harris.
Looks like a travel.
Was a traveling violation.
I saw a third step there. Even I saw that.
It's only 2 in this contest so far, sir.
You know what? The fact that we can count on one hand right now
we're in a good spot.
We're in a much better spot than the last time we were in this building.
It was not pretty. It was not pretty the last time. 18-13, 2 minutes exactly left here from the Siegel Center. And Richmond is up by 5 as Boone is back in the contest for Richmond. She has it at the top of the key over to Budnick on the wing, being guarded by Sam Robinson. Cross-court pass to Dugan. Knocks it down, Maggie Dugan. 21-18. That was good vision there by Budnick. She saw Dugan across the other side of the court and was able to knock it down.
She was trying to get down low to Ryan, I think, but I think it was Harris just forcing her to make that cross-court pass, and it paid off because Dugan knocked down that three, no question.
Griffith Wallace's jump shot is short as Richmond takes control. Budnick driving, left hand. She knows she's close to 1,000. You can feel it because
she's putting up a couple shots there.
Yeah.
But Bloom had good post defense down there, not making an easy shot for her.
Tough opportunity there by Harris. Took the baseline, drew the contact. And with 1:04, VCU has possession. And Parham is going to make her way back in the contest for Bloom.
Not going to lie, boss. I'm spending this whole quarter since we started talking about trying to analyze these players and then give them. I'm going to be thinking about this all off season.
Well, the cheesesteak has really messed us up a little bit.
I'm just saying that's what we need to talk to Charlie's. See if we can get some deal here, some sponsorship with the team since they got cheese names now.
Oh, and it's all about Ostrom. Ostrom takes good possession all the way down. Knocked away by Griffith Wallace. Good vision there by Wallace on the defensive front. 21-18 Richmond, 43 seconds left in this first half. Palm has it being guarded by Budnick. She tries to go along the baseline. Good job by Budnick cutting the baseline off. Harris was driving towards the basket there, knocked away, and Richmond has possession.
It was first off, it was good defense by Ostrom, just coming out in the lane, stealing that pass. Griffith Wallace like, nah, I got that back. Let's run it back. Parham with the drive down low, couldn't get a shot, like a good shot she wanted. Harris had a beautiful cut down there, just couldn't handle the pass from Parham and turns it back over. So it's a lot of bang-bang kind of plays there for him.
As Dugan tries to get the layup off the glass, but it's short. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, One Asari knocks it down. Mary Anna Asari knocks down the three at the buzzer here to end the half. Now, I think they're going to go check it, or maybe not. They say it's good.
That looked good to me.
Man, it looked good to me, too. Oh, man.
That's always nice to have a buzzer beater, even at the first half.
Yeah. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We hit the end of the first half with the score Richmond 21, VCU 16. And what a way to end the half there if you're VCU, Russ.
Yeah. They had some good possessions, offense and defense, still struggling a little bit. They brought up their shooting percentage to 25% now, shooting 20% overall from three-point. So they definitely improved there a little bit. But Richmond, surprise, surprise, they're shooting 30%, 33% from the field, another 36 from three. I only expect that to continue. Both teams, as I expected, improved in that second quarter from shooting, making better shots, taking better shots. So I'm only expecting it to get even better, more competitive in the second half.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the way, and you said it the best, like one of those quarters usually in the first half is a little sketchy for both teams. And then we kind of see it crank up. And we saw it a little bit towards the end there. I'm very intrigued to see where this third period goes as we are at halftime with the score VCU 16 and Richmond 21.
Yeah, definitely picking it up there from the second half. It was 6-5 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a little rough at the beginning, but we did see some baskets there in that second quarter, so it's a good thing to see there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we go here, just going to give you some of the numbers. Stats-wise, this is where we stand. Addie Budnick has 8 points. That puts her 20 points away from 1,000 in her career. Maggie Dugan has 6. Grace Townsend has 5. And Rachel Olstrom has 2. For VCU, Palm has 3. Griffith Wallace has 4. Asari has 5, including that buzzer beater there right before the end of the half. Walters has 2, and Chloe Bloom has 2. Russ, before we move to our break, what were your thoughts overall in that first half?
As expected, like we touched on a couple times already, first quarter was a very, very heavy feel-around quarter. Both teams were rushing, taking bad shots. Second quarter turnaround, and even as you analyze the numbers, there's some stats on here that I didn't even realize that were actually happening. You mentioned Maggie Dugan, 2 for 5 right now with her with her shots right now. They're 2 for 3 from three-pointer, including that cross-court assist from Budnick. VCU right now has 6 steals on the game, 2 of them from Janika Griffith-Wallace, Pepper Jack, my favorite Ram right now. With VCU, Richmond not to be outdone, they still have 3 steals themselves. 2 of them coming from Ulstrom. One of them was on that breakout pass where she almost had a good chance to get a layup, but just kind of rushed it. Janika Griffith-Wallace swipe it back, swiper, no swiping.
Swiper, no swiping. I like that.
Both teams coming close to 20 rebounds right now. Combined 37 rebounds total for both teams in that first half. Continuing dominance on the boards for both sides. Efficiency, of course, definitely hope to see it pick it up, especially from the VCU side. They're still in this game, only down by 5 points when they're shooting 25% from the field.
And that's the thing. I mean, even though it wasn't the greatest shooting first half for both teams, it's still really competitive, and it's still a battle going on here from the Siegel Center. Richmond up 21-16, ladies and gentlemen, over VCU, and we'll be back here in 11 minutes and 30 seconds to bring you more here on the Legacy Network, LegacyMaker Sports Network. Once again, thank you all for tuning in, and on top of that, take a word from our sponsors.
Are you tired of being denied a home loan because of your credit score? Let Stephanie Taylor of Hometown Realty help you take your first step of making your dream a reality and say yes to the address. Contact her at 804-852-5045 or by email at smtaylor804@gmail.com. Do you need an expert music producer for instrumentals, beats, for podcasts, commercials, or even your own songs? Contact ABiz Productions via email at adb2 two keys, that's the number 2, at yahoo.com. If you found yourself in a jam and need help getting your vehicle out of a tough situation, Bernard's Towing is there to help you get your car where you need it to be. Remember, call us once and you'll be hooked. Contact us at 804-380-2774 or at 804-495-5111. Cleveland's Auto Repair. Looking for everyday maintenance, such as oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, or even a diagnostic type of work? Contact Cleveland Auto Repair today at 804-350-0459. Are you tired of your lipstick smearing when you kiss or drink coffee? Contact Lip Sense agent Becca Cottingham for all your lipstick and lip gloss needs. Explore Becca's inventory, and you can reach her on her Facebook page at Making Lip Gloss Fun Again with Becca. Walls Detailing. What do? We offer auto detailing, minor auto mechanic work, oil changes, wiper blades, air filters, and etc., and power washing for decks, mobile homes, and one-story homes and driveways and walkways. You can contact me at Walls Detailing and more on Facebook or at Walls_detailing on Instagram. And the phone number is 804-350-1742. King's Tees Printing and more. Direct-to-garment printing, embroidery, sublimation, vinyl, apparel branding, and large format printing. King's Tees are here to help. Contact them at 804-904-7807 or at the website at kingteesrva.com. If you need a cake for a wedding or a birthday with amazing quality and affordable prices, check out Tasty Cake Creations by Tasha Perry. Tasty Cake Creations specializes in pies, pecan, sweet potato, coconut, apple, cakes, cupcakes, specialty cakes, cake jars, and corn pudding, rice pudding, bread pudding, and much, much more. Contact her at 804-475-4245. In a Breeze Pressure Washing LLC for all your pressure washing needs. Cody Stewart will be there to pressure wash your cars, homes, garage, shed, porches, driveways, and decks. Contact Cody Stewart on the Facebook business page or by phone at 804-389-0389. Are you looking to travel for affordable prices? Catherine Hopkins of Academy Travel Affiliate can make that happen for you. Cruises, Disney, Universal, anywhere you can think of. Contact Catherine Hopkins at catherinehopkins.travel@gmail.com or at 804-306-0766. Are you tired of being denied a home loan because of your credit score? Let Stephanie Taylor of Hometown Realty help you take your first step of making your dream a reality and say yes to the address. Contact her at 804-852-5045 or by email at smtaylor804@gmail.com. Do you need an expert music producer for instrumentals, beats, for podcasts, commercials, or even your own songs? Contact A-Biz Productions via email at adb2keys, that's the number 2, at yahoo.com. If you found yourself in a jam and need help getting your vehicle out of a tough situation, Bernard's Towing is there to help you get your car where you need it to be. Remember, call us once and you'll be hooked. Contact us at 804-380-2774 or at 804-495-5111. Cleveland's Auto Repair. Looking for everyday maintenance, such as oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, or even a diagnostic type of work? Contact Cleveland Auto Repair today at 804-350-0459. Are you tired of your lipstick smearing when you kiss or drink coffee? Contact Lip Sense agent Becca Cottingham for all your lipstick and lip gloss needs. Explore Becca's inventory, and you can reach her on her Facebook page at Making Lip Gloss Fun Again with Becca. Walls Detailing. What do? We offer auto detailing, minor auto mechanic work, oil changes, wiper blades, air filters, and etc., and power washing for decks, mobile homes, and one-story homes and driveways and walkways. You can contact me at Walls Detailing and more on Facebook or at Walls_Detailing on Instagram. And the phone number is 804-350-1742. King's Tees Printing and more. Direct-to-garment printing, embroidery, sublimation, vinyl, apparel branding, and large format printing. King's Tees are here to help. Contact them at 804-904-7807 or at the website at kingteesrva.com. If you need a cake for a wedding or a birthday with amazing quality and affordable prices, check out Tasty Cake Creations by Tasha Perry. Tasty Cake Creations specializes in pies, pecan, sweet potato, coconut, apple, cakes, cupcakes, specialty cakes, cake jars, and corn pudding, rice pudding, bread pudding, and much, much more. Contact her at 804-475-4245. In a Breeze Pressure Washing LLC for all your pressure washing needs. Cody Stewart will be there to pressure wash your cars, homes, garage, shed, porches, driveways, and decks. Contact Cody Stewart on the Facebook business page or by phone at 804-389-0389. Are you looking to travel for affordable prices? Catherine Hopkins of Academy Travel Affiliate can make that happen for you. Cruises, Disney, Universal, anywhere you can think of. Contact Catherine Hopkins at catherinehopkins.travel@gmail.com or at 804-306-0766. Are you tired of being denied a home loan because of your credit score? Let Stephanie Taylor of Hometown Realty help you take your first step of making your dream a reality and say yes to the address. Contact her at 804-852-5045 or by email at smtaylor804@gmail.com. Do you need an expert music producer for instrumentals, beats, for podcasts, commercials, or even your own songs? Contact A-Biz Productions via email at adb2keys, that's the number 2, at yahoo.com. If you found yourself in a jam and need help getting your vehicle out of a tough situation, Bernard's Towing is there to help you get your car where you need it to be. Remember, call us once and you'll be hooked. Contact us at 804-380-2774 or at 804-495-5111.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost back here. And we got about a minute and 15 seconds before we get back and bring you some more of this broadcast. Right now, we got VCU down by 5, Richmond up 21-16 over the VCU Rams. So in one more minute, we'll be back here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network to bring you more action.
See all the news that's happening around in the world of sports, boss?
What we got going on?
Titans cutting almost every veteran that they got.
They said, look, we ain't spending no more money. This almost makes me wonder if they're I mean, if the rebuild is intact, because I feel like Tannehill might be next.
I wouldn't be surprised. They were like 20. I think it said they were 23 million over the cap. And this cut, they cut Taylor Lewan, their All-Pro left tackle. Cut Robert Woods, who they just got before last season.
Right.
Cut Randy Bullock, their longtime kicker. Cut inside linebacker.
Zach Cunningham, yeah.
They cut somebody else I'm forgetting too. But they saved $37 million, I believe, with those moves.
Well, that makes me wonder what the move is. I mean, we've heard baby rumors of Aaron Rodgers, a potential trade. But if you're Aaron Rodgers, do you want to go somewhere like Tennessee and then have nobody there?
I think the obvious front runners for Aaron Rodgers are Las Vegas and New York. If anything, Tennessee was a dark horse.
Super dark horse.
Super dark. Like the color black times a million dark.
You talking about Infinity Black?
I'm talking Infinity Black, bruh. But like just the head scratchers there because they still have Derrick Henry. They still got Malik Willis, who they're trying to build off of. Tannehill, who knows what's going to happen. They might release Tannehill just to make room for Malik Willis, but I don't know if they're ready to commit to him yet.
Well, it's going to be interesting times there in Tennessee. We are back here for third quarter action, and Richmond has possession, and Maggie Dugan with the layup off the glass to make it a 23-16 Richmond game with 9 minutes and 42 seconds left in this third period. Griffin Wallace has control here for the Rams. Over to Moy Takite. And then we have Grace Hudson with possession. So in the game right now for VCU is Moy Takite, Grace Hudson, whose three is off, Parham, Lewis Uzi, and Griffith Wallace. For Richmond, you have Dugan, Ryan, Townsend, Budnick, and Hill.
Good rebound there by Parham.
Griffith Wallace has it at the top over to Moy Takite.
I got it, boss. Dugan is either going to be Munster cheese or Monterey Jack. I'm trying to figure out which one fits her better.
I mean, if she's a monster on the court, I would say that's what you were thinking.
That's what I'm thinking.
Lewis Uzi.
She's got the potential to be a monster, so why not get some Munster cheese? You know what I'm saying?
And Lewis Uzi's baseline jumper goes floating over the basket, and a shot clock violation. It's Richmond basketball with 8 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock here in the third period.
And you know what? Budnick, she's cheddar cheese because she's everywhere. She can play defense. She can shoot. She can rebound. She's just everywhere.
And Budnick's three attempt is no good. Rebound by Lewis Uzi.
Only if she had made that would have been a great time.
Great timing. Hudson tries to save it, almost lost control, and Budnick is able to retrieve it for the Spiders. And now Townsend dribbles a couple of times, swings it over to Dugan on the wing. Back to Townsend at the top of the key, who's being guarded by Lewis Uzi, who has to be careful. She has a couple of fouls, but Grace Townsend off the glass.
That's some hard defense there, but Townsend was determined to get that left-hand roll.
25-16, Richmond is up by 9. Palm has possession, takes a couple of dribbles, bounces, and gives it over to Hudson. Hudson to Lewis Uzi on the wing, being guarded by Hill. Pull-up jumper, Lewis Uzi.
You know who's having kind of an off game, which, I hate to see her have, is Grace Hudson.
Yeah.
She, used to her showing up on the scoreboard somewhere or just somewhere. Nice rebound there by Hudson. Pass off of Griffith Wallace back there to go out of bounds.
Griffith Wallace wasn't even looking. It rolled off her back and it hit the scores table.
Yeah.
25-18 Richmond with 7 minutes and 39 seconds, and we have some substitutions as Bloom looks like we have Bloom and Asari, Lewis Uzi, Griffith Wallace, and Parham in the game for VCU. And for Richmond, we have Budnick, Townsend, Ryan, Dugan, and Hill. So Richmond kept their starting five on the floor. Hill trying to get something rolling here. Use that pick from Dugan and then gets into a little trouble there by Bloom. Katie Hill, corner, three, and it's short. But guess who's there? Grace Townsend, scrappy is all outside with the rebound. Ryan back to Hudson. And I don't know exactly what was called there, but I think it's going to stay with Richmond.
I think I'm going to call Grace Townsend program. It's professional. She's about her business. provolone, you know what provolone is going to give you every time you put it on the sandwich. Grace Townsend has that game face where nothing gets, almost like Eli Manning, to be honest. But there's no emotion, where she's just stone cold in the game, and she's about the ball.
But she just makes it work.
So, and so does provolone cheese.
So Budnick has it down the top of the key, swings it all the way in the corner to Katie, who drives, and it's blocked by Chloe Bloom. Rams.
Chloe Bloom's a great down low defender. It's not making it easy for any of the Spiders' drives.
Griffin Wallace knocks down the three. 25-21. 6 minutes and 49 seconds left in this third period. Richmond's lead was 9, and now it is 4, and it's stolen by Griffin Wallace all the way to the basket, puts it off the glass, and now Richmond is in trouble here as the VCU Rams are on a 7-0 run.
Pepperjack right there just playing bang-bang defense. That wasn't even like a really bad pass. She just took advantage of almost like a lazy pass in a sense. She hits the three, and she's just playing all lights out right now in these last two possessions.
Budnick tried to get inside the heel. Bad shot, and VCU has the rebound. And you can see Coach Russell not happy as he's going to bring in Rachel Olstrom. And she'll be next to come in for Richmond. Harris takes a couple dribbles over to Asari. Back to Bloom, back to Asari. Driving on the right side, puts it in!
Good dribble penetration.
Mariana Asari is having herself a really good game today. You hit the buzzer beater that comes off with the little baby hook, puts it in. And this game is tied at 25 apiece, Russ, with 6 minutes and 2 seconds left in the third period.
She got 7 points, rebound, 2 assists, and even a steal thrown in there. Only 1 foul so far, too, so she's staying out of trouble. Hustle. Keep the tenacity.
Knocks it down.
Mm-hmm.
So VCU has the lead.
You know the free throw coach loves it when they convert the and ones.
10 on run here for VCU.
I know Coach Russell is mad because I can see his red and it's not on the shirt.
And Grace Townsend ends that 10-0 run. Oh, and there's a elbow there by Griffin Wallace against Townsend. Townsend is I think frustrating Griffin Wallace a little bit. She's so pesky on defense, Russ.
She about to get a different name because I don't know, provolone ain't that spicy. But Pepperjack is, so it fits Janika Griffin Wallace perfect.
So sorry, over to Parham inside. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Parham was trying to dunk, but then it was blocked.
She took that hop step like she was about to fly.
She did. She looked like she was about to let somebody have it. It's knocked away, and Richmond has possession. 27-26, 5 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock left in the third period. Alstrom's three off the left side of the rim, and Budnick is there, but is out of bounds, and it is VCU basketball.
One thing I'm still noticing, and maybe it's just my thought process and how basketball is played, is that Richmond when Richmond shoots the ball, there's maybe one player under the basket looking for a rebound.
Right.
It's in my mind that's weird to me, but I understand I'm not Coach Russell or Coach Beth O'Boyle for that matter. I do not have the mind to coach this game professionally, but it's just weird to me to see that, and I think that's what's giving VCU an edge in the rebounds right now.
27-26. VCU down by 1. Sam Robinson is back in the contest. Over to Harris, and we've got a entanglement down there as Williams and Bloom somehow got their legs tangled up and bodies hit the floor.
Hope everyone's okay. Ooh.
And
Bloom's got a little bit of a limp there. That's scary. That's unfortunate. That's scary and unfortunate. Jesus Christmas.
Yeah, so here we are, 27-26. Richmond is up by 1 with 4 minutes and 53 seconds left in the third period. We are at our media timeout. We'll be back with a little bit more here on the LegacyMaker Sports Network. Richmond up 27-26.
Cleveland's Auto Repair. Looking for everyday maintenance, such as oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, or even a diagnostic type of work? Contact Cleveland Auto Repair today at 804-350-0459. Are you tired of your lipstick smearing when you kiss or drink coffee? Contact Lip Sense agent Becca Cottingham for all your lipstick and lip gloss needs. Explore Becca's inventory, and you can reach her on her Facebook page at Making Lip Gloss Fun Again with Becca. Walls Detailing. What do? We offer auto detailing, minor auto mechanic work, oil changes, wiper blades, air filters, and etc. And power washing for decks, mobile homes, and one-story homes and driveways and walkways. You can contact me at Walls Detailing and More on Facebook or at Walls_detailing on Instagram. And the phone number is 804-350-1742. King's Tees Printing and More. Direct to garment printing, embroidery, sublimation, vinyl, apparel branding, and large format printing. King's Tees are here to help. Contact them at 804-904-7807 or at the website at kingteesrva.com. If you need a cake for a wedding or a birthday with amazing quality and affordable prices, check out Tasty Cake Creations by Tasha Perry. Tasty Cake Creations specializes in pies, pecan, sweet potato, coconut, apple, cakes, cupcakes, specialty cakes, cake jars, and corn pudding, rice pudding, bread pudding, and much, much more. Contact her at 804-475-4245.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the second half of the third quarter is about to go down. 4 minutes and 53 seconds left in this third quarter. Richmond is up 27-26. And right now, both teams still trying to figure it all out here. It's just not a high-scoring affair in this contest. But the last one wasn't really neither, Russ. We saw a 54-51 win for VCU in that last one. So
It's always a tough, gritty game for these two teams. You know, they're rested because they don't have to travel that far. So, and just the rivalry aspect of it adds a good bit of grittiness.
and then we've done this game quite a bit, even from back in 2017 when we started. And this rivalry has always been a fun one. It's always been usually a close matchup or very competitive to the end. Like I said, the last two we've had were within 3 points. So here we are once again with Richmond only up by one.
It's something about, Dugan takes misses the layup. Something about this game in this building in particular is like just there's a factor of like it's going to be a grimy matchup right now.
Exactly.
In this building, nothing against the Robin Center. It's just something about the Siegel Center that just brings out the griminess.
Well, I mean, when you go to VCU games, then the level is sometimes just top notch. They've been voted best crowd in the Atlantic 10 a couple times, so
Well deserved.
and the energy here, is just top notch, and that's a large thanks to the Peppers.
100%. The Peppers, the fans turning out, supporting the Peppers. It's a good turnout today too. Ooh,
Yes,
almost.
Grace Townsend layup doesn't go at all, hits glass, and then Kayla Williams had an attempt at it. That doesn't go, and now VCU's trying to take the lead. Griffin Wallace to Asari, pull-up jumper. Off the back of the rim, rebound by Grace Townsend. Here she comes flying past me and Russ.
Provolone.
Dugan kind of just standing there. Thought she was going to set a pick. Over the Boone, elbow jumper, and that one is short.
I think the first time we see Boone and Townsend on the floor tonight at the same time. I'm interested to see how they play together.
And see, that's the thing. It's funny. I talked about that in the last game. When these two, you rarely see them on the floor together. But it's like that's the one great thing that Coach Russell has. He's got 2 point guards that can just go. And so when they're both in the game. It's a little bit of an interesting, dynamic.
It's almost as if Townsend is not commanding, but Griffith Wallace missing the three. But it's almost as Townsend is giving the orders, and then Boone is running around executing everything else.
Yeah.
It's just something about Townsend's leadership and her professionalism, and then Boone's motor just going all over the damn place. It's amazing to watch.
And Asari's layup is a no good. 27-26, 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Dugan's three knocks it down. Maggie Dugan.
Buckets. That is. I would not be surprised if she's on preseason Atlantic 10 next year.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. She's got the way she's having a season. I wouldn't be surprised if she makes the All-10 Atlantic 10 team here at the end of the season.
She is a freshman averaging 11 points and 6 rebounds at Richmond. She's definitely going to be on the preteam all-conference next year, or preseason all-conference.
30-26, 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
Ooh, Lisa Wilson to travel.
So Sam Robinson is called for the foul as we see Parham make her way back into the contest. Richmond holding on to a 4-point lead, 2 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock. And Budnick is going to take it out here for Richmond. Townsend has possession. Going up against Bloom. She thought about it. Nice little bounce pass inside the Budnick. And a traveling violation. That is travel number 4 called on the day.
I almost lost count because there hadn't been one in a while. Almost forgot. Going to have to bring, again, I forgot last time. I'm going to have to bring one of those count ticker things in your hand.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring it this time. Got to order one off of Amazon for next season.
I was very surprised they called as many as they did in that game. Some of them didn't seem like travels. But inside the Griffin Wallace, rattles out. Parham was able to get the rebound, but there's a foul on the floor.
Like the Super Bowl ball, sometimes you just got to let the game play out. Can't leave it in the ref's hands.
Coach Russell is not pleased. I don't know if he's fussing at a player or the referee, but it feels like it's the referee, and he's letting them have it.
I think he might be upset with some of the calls because it looks like he's jawing at this ref right here in front of us, next to us.
You don't see him. Asari's jumper from the elbow doesn't go, and Townsend reaching up trying to get the rebound, but there's a foul called. And I believe everyone's going to be on Griffin Wallace.
That man is mad. Like, he's wearing red shirt, but his face is redder than the shirt. He is not happy about something. And meanwhile, Coach O'Bull is just chilling in their natural stance.
We know how it goes. 30-26. Richmond has possession, and they have a 4-point lead. 1 minute and 39 seconds left. And it's stripped by Janika Griffin Wallace. Oh, a little push off there on Townsend to create some separation, and it's 30-28.
Oh God, I love this matchup.
I'm not gonna lie to you. They've been going against each other the whole time, and if you watch carefully, there's been a lot of little elbow checks, a lot of little pushing and shoving there between the two.
Little give and take there. The refs are letting them play though, which is beautiful because like that matchup between those two right now is just it's what I love about sports. It's a competition between two players,
and the battle is real.
Oh God, yes.
30-28, Richmond up by 2.
Both of those ladies are about that action. They're about ball.
Spawn Ryan driving to the baseline, kicks it out to Budnick, and Parham this time getting her hands in there to knock it away. Asari kicks it out to Griffin Wallace from the 3-point line, and the lead knocks it down. Janika Griffin Wallace, 31-30 VCU.
I'm trying not to celebrate because that is my favorite player. I love Janika Griffin Wallace.
She's tough as they come.
I need to not be a sports reporter for a day and get her autograph.
Townsend driving, floats it over to Dugan for 3.
Oh, off the backboard.
She did not call bank, and I don't think it counts.
That's Tim Duncan from range.
33-31.
Now, this is the type of game that you love. Something close. The crowd is getting into it. End of the third quarter. These teams are fighting, and it's absolutely beautiful. You wouldn't know that VCU's having probably one of their worst seasons under Coach O'Boyle by the tone of this game.
33-31. And Asari, I thought she was holding her ankle, but she's not. They're already dealing with injuries, and that's not what you want to see.
Ooh.
Ryan, 3, corner, knocks it down. That's going to make it 36-31 Richmond, but I'm concerned for Asari here. Griffin Wallace from the half court heaves it, hits off the glass. And right when you thought VCU was about to take control, Richmond says, hold up, let's go on a 6-0 run before we end. And within a minute, go on a 6-0 run to make this a 36-31 game as we enter the fourth quarter.
That was some intense basketball right there. It was back and forth there. I'd hate to see Asari go down with that injury. Almost was like, why aren't we calling timeout to get her off court? And then the buzzer rings for the end of the quarter. But she was noticeably limping there. Just hopefully it's not something serious. Like you said, they're already dealing with injuries. Tibiasu's out. That's already a hell of a gut punch right there.
Izzy is out as well. They've got a couple people that are banged up. And so, and we saw, Izzy was a very important part of this lineup. When we watched him earlier in the season, she was contributing. She was coming off the bench, getting minutes, and we've seen some other players having to step up due to those injuries.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking over to this team huddle right now, and Parham is leading that conversation right now. She's taking charge. But I also note that Sorry, she's not sitting down. She's walking on that. She's standing on that bad ankle. She's game.
She's trying to test it out here.
Hopefully, there's some enough time here in between the quarters to get a good recovery. Again, I hope it's nothing serious right now.
Exactly. We're looking here, and right now, game percentage from shooting. Richmond right now, 14 for 40, 35% from the field. And VCU is 13 for 45, 28.9% from the field. In the third quarter, 39.5 for VCU and 37.5 for Richmond. But 36 to 31 as we have entered the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. And Richmond is up 36-31 over VCU.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at the stats again. You see the horrid numbers from the first quarter, but then you see the level of improvement from the second quarter.
Right.
It's like Jekyll and Hyde. Because, you look at Richmond, they shot 15% in the first quarter. They shot 55% in the second quarter. Even VCU, 11% in the first quarter. They shot 45% in the second. And now we're coming out here. They're not bad, but they're kind of in the middle of the first and the second quarter.
Right.
They're both shooting in the mid-30s. Richmond right now is shooting a couple points under their season average. So it's definitely not as efficient as they're normally used to, but they're still in this game right now. Of course, as they have a 5-point lead. But VCU right now, especially after the plays of Janika Griffith-Wallace right now, with the steals, the 3-point shots in that quarter, she is leading the charge of this team right now. You'd be surprised that she's a 9-point average on the season.
Well, I'm intrigued to see how this goes here because one scary thing that makes me a little worried for Richmond is those second chance points. And yes, the Rams only have 3, but they have not been able to rebound the ball offensively at all. And it's been a little bit rough for this Richmond team, but we'll see what happens here as Grace Hudson will take the ball out. And ladies and gentlemen, the fourth quarter is underway.
To that point, Morris, I would say neither team is dominating offensive rebounds because neither one has at least 10 right now. VCU has 9. Richmond has 6. So neither one is blowing the other one away in offensive rebounding, but they're both close to 30 rebounds total. So they're trying to limit the second chance points.
And Griffith Wallace takes a deep three, but Mortekite will get the rebound, and then Katie Hill says, "Give me the basketball." And
jump ball.
They call jump ball, and then we'll go to Richmond. 9 minutes and 38 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Can Richmond steal this one here from the Siegel Center? And once again, it's just something about these teams winning the games on the road. They will not win the game at home when they're facing each other, but it's just on the road. And look at Addie Budnick just bullying her way in the inside there, Russ.
First points of the second half, I believe.
38-31.
Nice to see Addie Budnick get back on the scoreboard.
And you got Griffith Wallace in control of the basketball. Richmond is up by 7.
See, the ideology between these two teams is a beautiful thing to watch depending on who's on the court. You know what I'm saying? Ooh.
And that one's missed, but Hudson has control for VCU. So good job there by VCU with the offensive rebound. 38-31, 8 minutes and 38 seconds. Griffith Wallace has it at the top of the key over to Mortekite. And we've got some backdoor action going on here.
Fighting down low, Lewis Utsi.
Now Lewis Utsi has to be. They gave it to Katie Hill, so Katie Hill's called for the foul. Utsi, who has 3 fouls, has to be careful. But also Katie Hill also now has 3 fouls.
That was a fight between Katie Hill and Lewis Utsi. And Lewis Utsi has the ball with Katie Hill right in front of her face.
I'm telling you, very physical game so far from both teams.
For sure.
Look at the context here. I'm telling you, Griffith Wallace and
got that elbow right in the Townsend trying to get some space.
Griffith Wallace from deep Rebound, Katie Hill hands it off to Townsend.
That's a little too far there, Pepper Jack.
38-31, Richmond up. 8 minutes and 9 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Townsend dribbling. A little bit of a step back, decides to give it off to Budnick. Budnick has it at the top of the key, dribbles over, hands it off to Dugan for three. Off the right side of the rim, rebound by Griffith Wallace.
Again, it's still weird to see Grace Hudson struggling to make a shot in this game right now.
Yeah, she has not been, and as she shoots the three, and Bloom and Dugan battling for the rebound, it will go to Richmond.
0 for 5 now from 3-point with Grace Hudson. But she's still like the way that Coach O'Boyle coaches this team, even with her having an off game like that, 0 for 5 from 3, 0 for 6 from the field together, she's still an important player.
Yeah.
She's still got the hustle on the defense. She's still got the ball movement. Still a very good passer.
Very important piece of this puzzle.
No doubt, no doubt. Even with her, not showing up on the scoreboard, she's still a gamer. She's still a baller.
Hudson getting all the way. That was Townsend getting all the way into the paint, then kicks it back out. And now Budnick has possession here for the Spiders. Crystal Grava's three. Woo! Crystal Grava knocks down the three, and it's a 10-point Richmond lead.
Hand in the face, don't care.
41-31, 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Lewis Utsi dribbles across the top of the key, hands it off to Griffith Wallace on the wing.
I just saw something that Dugan did that just made her one of my favorite players right now.
Bloom trying to get a little bit of a fadeaway going there. Hits off the side of the rim. Off the side of the backboard, and it's a rebound by Richmond.
Boss, you've done it yourself growing up. You get your shorts on, get your T-shirt on, go to the park to play some ball.
Right.
You got someone coming down. Ooh.
Krista Grava coming in.
Yeah.
12-point lead for Richmond.
You got your game fit on. You're going down to the park to play some basketball. You got someone bringing the ball down the court. You getting ready in your defensive stance. You hike up your shorts real quick. You get your game face on, ready to defend. For some reason, Dugan just did that, and I'm like, oh, dang, she about to do something dangerous.
It felt that way, didn't it?
It really did. And she's still a freshman. That's the beautiful thing about it. She's a freshman, and she's this good.
Got to give you something to smile about if you're coach yourself.
No doubt. He found a good diamond right there in recruiting her. Coming all the way from Pennsylvania. I don't know where Bruno, Pennsylvania is.
I've never heard of it until these last couple of weeks.
I almost would bet you we passed it on our way to Atlantic Championship a couple years ago.
Bet money. Bet money.
We about to look. And I almost bet you, too, you and me were asleep in the car while Lamont was driving.
Probably so. Trying to stay non-cramped up. It was an adventure in that car.
It was, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Shout out to Lamont.
Yes.
My man drove both ways, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. One of the best cheeseburgers I had in that diner we went up there.
Yeah.
To cover those games both days, just coming in, knowing what the mission was, getting that hustle, a first taste of like championship tournament action. I was unbelievably happy.
It was a great tournament, and Fordham came to play in that championship game. VCU fell a little short in that one, but it was definitely a fun time in Pittsburgh.
Fordham had, I can't remember her name, but that guard, oh Jesus Christ, I'm blanking on her name right now, but she was another ball player. Fordham would not be denied on the scoreboard.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Fair skin, had like blonde curly hair.
The box cut.
Yep.
Oh,
she came to play.
I'm having a moment too.
Yeah, I cannot remember her name, but she was unbelievably impressive in that tournament. But yeah, that was an experience. I hope we get back to the A-10 tournament again next year. I know the pandemic, of course, screwed it up at being in Richmond, which kind of sucked. So I think it was last year or the year before, 2021.
Yeah,
was supposed to be
we had it in Richmond, and VCU won the tournament, and we weren't able to broadcast it, which was unfortunate.
Yeah.
So we were excited. I remember heading into that because we were like, yeah, man, this is going to be it. We're going to get there and do this at home.
We ain't got to get no hotel unless we want to.
Unless we needed to.
Which, honestly, God would said, let's just get a hotel Saturday night just for the experience.
Just for the fun of it.
Just for the fun of it. See what happens. But, of course, best of luck to both these teams. And all of the Atlantic 10 teams going to next week's tournament, definitely expected to be a pretty good one. UMass and Rhode Island at the top of the list right now, both 13-1 in conference play. Richmond making their own noise a little bit right there in the middle, 6-6 coming into tonight. VCU, unfortunately, 4-10, but still expect them to give some noise, especially with play like tonight. They're giving Richmond all they can handle right now. Bree Kavanaugh. Yes.
Gosh. Her and Kendall Hiramaya was amazing in that championship game.
Yes. Oh, God. Bree Kavanaugh. I remember watching her game. She was amazing.
Griffin Wallace with the floater puts it in for 2.
And you know what? For some reason, now that we remember her name, Griffith Wallace reminds me a lot of Bree Kavanaugh. She's just a gritty scorer. Just a gritty and grimy scorer that plays good defense.
43-33, 10-point lead for Richmond. 6 minutes left in the fourth. Townsend swings it to Dugan. Dugan trying to work against Bloom. Nice little crossover move. Man, if she had finished that would have been something special. Robinson with the rebound for VCU.
That was a lot of flash, but there was nothing in the paint.
Griffin Wallace, a traveling violation.
Really?
5.
I didn't think her foot came off the court, but hey, like I said, I'm not a ref.
Like I said, I'm telling you, in that last one, I know we keep harping on it, but it wasn't as many travels as it should have been called. That's just my opinion.
It was a travel almost every other possession.
I was like, I said, there's no way. 43-33, 5 minutes and 39 seconds on the clock. Richmond up by 10. Townsend over to Ryan for 3. Bounces off the left side of the rim. But Dugan with a good offensive rebound there. And now Richmond resets the shot clock. Ryan, 3. And once again, it will not go, and rebound by Harris. And the Rams have control.
I'll be honest, that Dugan rebound, it went by like 3 players on each team. Just like, oh, you're going to get it? Am I going to get it? Are you going to get it? Dugan's like, I'll get it.
If that's what you decide, I'll take it.
If you let it roll down to me, I'll get that ball for our team, give it another shot.
Griffin Wallace over to Sam Robinson, driving in. Krista Grava just said nope.
Like, oh, you want to shoot that? Not here, bud. Not here.
43-33, Richmond up. 4 minutes and 59 seconds left. And I think we're going to be heading to this media timeout here soon. And it looks like it may be happening now.
See, the thing I'm noticing different too as well, I keep harping on it, is the different styles of play depending on who's on the floor, especially with VCU. You see Parham's not on the floor; they're not running as many pick and rolls on it. You got anyone like Robinson, Walters down low; they're gonna get a baseline game down low, trying to feed it. So it's a different style of play depending on who's on the floor, and it's very obvious.
Well, it's been a fun one here. VCU down by 10, but I don't know how you feel, but to me it feels like even though they're up by 10, that means nothing. I feel like, the way this thing has gone back and forth over the last couple of years, who knows how this will go down.
Just waiting for Grace Hudson to get hot. Start banging down them threes.
We'll be back in just a second here, y'all, on the LegacyMaker Sports Network. Richmond up 43-33 with 4 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock.
In a Breeze Pressure Washing LLC for all your pressure washing needs. Cody Stewart will be there to pressure wash your cars, homes, garage, shed, porches, driveways, and decks. Contact Cody Stewart on the Facebook business page or by phone at 804-389-0389. Are you looking to travel for affordable prices? Catherine Hopkins of Academy Travel Affiliate can make that happen for you. Cruises, Disney, Universal, anywhere you can think of. Contact Catherine Hopkins at catherinehopkins.travel@gmail.com or at 804-306-0766. Are you tired of being denied a home loan because of your credit score? Let Stephanie Taylor of Hometown Realty help you take your first step of making your dream a reality and say yes to the address. Contact her at 804-852-5045 or by email at smtaylor804 @gmail.com. Do you need an expert music producer for instrumentals, beats, for podcasts, commercials, or even your own songs? Contact A-Biz Productions via email at adb2keys, that's the number 2, at yahoo.com.
I swear.
He started jamming. He was ready. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We got 4 minutes and 59 seconds to be exact left in this fourth period. Can Richmond hold on and get their 17th win of the season, or can VCU make the comeback?
Looking at this stat sheet right now, VCU is trying to end the game the way they started. Poor shooting. They're shooting 16% right now in this fourth quarter, compared to the 11% in the first quarter. So that's honestly, God, I think that's the difference right now in Richmond's lead, staying and close to double digits, and VCU just barely being able to close it down.
I know the free throw doctor is not happy to see Sam Robinson miss both free throws there.
Don't even want to talk about it right now.
Won't even bring it up. So Grace Townsend goes, and a great effort there by Grace Townsend. I mean, nice little finger roll. Kind of did a little bit of a swirly swirl there, but goes in for two. 45-33. Richmond up with 4 minutes and 32 seconds left in the fourth.
That's professional Valone right there. She's about her business.
And Griffin Wallace, 3 hits off the left side, rebounded by Harris. Wallace will give it over to Robinson. The elbow back to Griffin Wallace. And now she gives it over to Harris on the wing. Harris drives, thought about it, hands it off to Asari. Asari able to hurry. 5 seconds, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Bloom with the reverse, and she's going to get fouled.
She drew the foul there on Budnick. It was a good effort there. You know, of course, a little rush because you're getting down towards the end of the shot clock.
Right.
But still a good effort drawing a foul, trying to get some free throws here. Speaking of which, I know Richmond's only taken 1 free throw this whole game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And yet you still got players in foul trouble for VCU, which is crazy. That's even crazier.
I mean, looking at this, they haven't been in the line that much at all up until now. So Richmond's 1 for 1, and the VCU
is now 2 for 6.
It's now 2 for 6. So
it's not great. You know what I'm saying? That equals out to 33% right now, 2 for 6. As Bloom prepares for her second shot, let's see.
And she knocks it down. 45-34. It's an 11-point lead for Richmond with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left as we see Parham make her way back into the contest for VCU.
Pick and rolls. Watch for the pick and rolls from VCU.
It looks like VCU is going to put the intensity up here with the full court press.
Double team full court press, like a 3-2.
And look at Grace Townsend using her speed and agility off the glass, puts it in for 2.
Hey.
See, that's where it gets dangerous if you're a VCU, because Grace Townsend doesn't get tired. So when she turns it up, that's the type of thing that she can do.
See, that's the thing about her and Boone being on the floor at the same time, because it seems like neither one has a battery that runs out.
Exactly. And Budnick gets the block there on Harris. 47-34 as Richmond starts to slowly pull away. But it looks like we got a timeout by Coach Purcell with 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Richmond's up 47-34. And, Russ, looking at this, I saw something that was kind of hard to look at here. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. When you're looking at the shooting in this quarter, they're 1 for 8 in VCU.
Yep.
And you talked about it a little bit about, hey, man, they're starting off how they did in the first half. Well, what do you tell this team to kind of get them out of their slump? Because it's going to happen quick, or Richmond's going to go and get their 17th victory.
The shot selection isn't great. It's not just the shot selection sometimes. It's the execution. We've seen countless times on both sides of the ball. They can get to the basket, but they can't finish. We've seen that in many games this year, too, as well. It's being able to execute when you get the chance to actually make a shot. And then taking the good shots when you can and making those too.
Right.
It's almost like in football where you got to win the winnable games to make it easier for you on the later in the season.
Touche. And VCU has possession as Sari gives it in to Lewis Uzi. And Uzi takes a couple dribbles, gives it over to Harris. Harris will give it to Asari. Asari in between the legs, trying to work it against Hill. Kicks it out to Lewis Uzi on the baseline. Back to Asari on the wing, who puts it up with 1 second. And a great offensive rebound there by Robinson, tipping it over to Lewis Uzi, and they're going to get another opportunity.
I swear, sometimes if it wasn't for the hair, I would think Harris and Lewis Uzi were almost the same player.
I'm not going to lie to you. It threw me off a couple times myself.
Like Harris, of course, has that big bun, curly on the back hair. And then Lewis Uzi has the shorter style hair, the smaller bun. But like almost they about the same height, same skin complexion.
It threw me off.
It throws me off too, boss. It's like who's hustling right now? Both. That's the answer.
That's the answer. 47-34, 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Richmond holding on to a 13-point lead. Robinson driving to the basket. Great move by Robinson, but I think her hair might have got in her face when she was trying to drive.
That's the danger. It sucks having long hair sometimes. It's been a while since I had it.
You can see the frustration in her face.
But that goes more to the point of just the execution when you get the opportunity. She had a great drive to the basket, just could not finish. The finishing is just not there for VCU tonight.
Exactly. And Richmond, good ball movement right now. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Townsend looking, corner, Alstrom. Her three is a no good, and Lewis Uzi has possession.
She got a little tripped up there. Might have had Harris going down low on the fast break.
Harris was cutting to the basket. 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Down by 13. Griffin Wallace's jump shot off the right side, and a rebound by Dugan. And now the Spiders can kind of taste it as we are 2 minutes and 12 seconds away here. If the Spiders can hold on, they'll get win number 17 on the year. Oh, she tried to get into Budnick, and they both lost control. They're coming flying towards us. Yikes. As Ryan diving on the floor. Alsham was there. Griffin Wallace came flying. Harris was over here. And we had
that was scary. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Russ thought that he was getting taken out, y'all.
Bruh, please don't. Please don't. I don't need them hospital pills. That was an interesting possession there.
It really was.
Sometimes I can see the dog in Townsend with the way she's driving to the basket, but then she's almost thinking, who can I get it to? Who's open from the space I just created? Sometimes I really wish she had that killer mentality to try and go for the bucket sometimes.
Right.
In the sense, almost like Tony Parker would back in the Spurs heyday. The way he would just dribble, penetrate down low, draw the fouls, and get to the line almost his attempts. You still want to have the eyes open for the passes, right. Of course. You know, that's how you get a guy like Tim Duncan his points when you're playing with Tony Parker back in the day. But, you know, with her, that's how you get Budnick her points, Ryan her shots from the outside, Maggie Dugan her shots as well. But sometimes it's just she's thinking pass first too many times almost in a sense. Sometimes just want to have that killer mentality. Like, you have the opportunity. Take it. See what happens.
And so Ryan will be taking the ball out here. .158 left in the fourth, and Richmond's holding on to a 13-point lead. Siobhan Ryan takes it out, gives it over to Townsend. Richmond trying to hold on here and get a double-digit win as Grace Townsend off the glass.
I think Lewis Uzi's playing a little bit cautious. She's got a couple fouls on her. Doesn't want to get any more.
Grace Townsend has 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists.
Not surprised. Not surprised at all. Beating her season average, of course. Coming into this point, averaging a game just under 11 points per game. The assist is always nice. The 6 rebounds from your point guard is always great. You know, the Jason Kidd effect. The 4 turnovers aren't lovely, but the team is in control. I will say the efficiency from Grace Townsend is something to be amazed by too as well. Shooting 7 for 10 from the field, missed her only free throw, her only 3-point, made her only free throw. She's very efficient tonight. Very efficient.
She's got 4 turnovers, but I don't. Sometimes with those turnovers, I think you can attribute that to her speed. She's just so quick on the floor sometimes. I think sometimes we'll call some of those turnovers, but some of those were just great defensive plays by Griffin Wallace.
I'm about to say, yeah, Griffin Wallace, sometimes she's just on the ball. Her hands are everywhere.
Robinson thinking about the three, and she drives to the basket. She's looking for contact, but Richmond has possession. Minute 28.
Not a great drive there compared to her last one.
15-point lead, and it looks like Coach Purcell is clearing the bench.
Yep. Here come the reserves.
And Alstrom. We're going to see Boone, Williams, Torrin Rogers, Angel Burgos, and Lewandowski come into the contest for Richmond with a minute 19 to go.
Yeah, Richmond's got this one pretty much locked up. 15 points with a minute 19. And unless you got Reggie Miller in the 90s right now, I don't think anyone's pulling this off.
Yeah. It's not a lot of people that can do Reggie Miller in the 90s.
Reggie Miller could barely do it himself, and that was a hustle.
And wait a minute. Sorry, knocks down a three.
He spoke too soon.
And we got a timeout. And that makes it a 12-point game as Asari knocks down the three. It's 49-37 with a minute and 9 seconds left in this contest. Or at least it maybe a minute now left in this contest. But like you said, we need Reggie Miller.
They need some clutch shooting. They need some hard decisions on defense because almost like, are you going to foul? Give them the free throws. Hope that they miss. Of course, Richmond's only taken one free throw in the game, and now you have these players on the court that haven't played. Mm-hmm. So, like, do you want to take a chance and force these reserves, unfortunately, to try and clutch up this game and lock it up for them, or
right?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Well, with a minute and 9 left, VCU chants are running thin here, and I'll be honest with you, it's kind of hard to believe this could be their 20th loss in the season.
That does not compute. That does not compute. Ooh.
And look at Angel Burgos all by herself. The senior will put it in for 2. And Mama Bear is in the crowd smiling as she sees baby girl gets the 2 points. 51-37 with 54 seconds on the clock. Griffin Wallace for 3 off the left side of the rim. Rebound by Kayla Williams. Boone. Using the pick from Williams. Great pick there by Williams.
Hard pick there by Williams. Parham just ran right into it because she's all about that ball right now, man.
Yeah, if Richmond does this smart, they can take off half of the time left on the clock here before they would have to be forced to shoot.
Interesting lineup for VCU. I don't know if they got their bigs in.
Burgos with the Kareem. Oh, no, excuse me. With the Hakeem Olajuwon dream shake.
Yikes.
and puts it in 53-37. Harris 3.
Coach yourself.
Long rebound by Burgos.
On the bench.
And ladies and gentlemen, the Richmond Spiders are going to win their 17th game of the season.
VCU's the 20th loss of the season.
Yeah, they're 7-20. They still have one more game for VCU. Both teams
at LaSalle,
and then Richmond will be at home as they take on St. Bonaventure. But Bonaventure is one of those tough teams you just got to watch out for.
This year, I think they can kind of get away with it. St. Bonaventure, 6-24, 3-12 in conference.
Yeah, they should be able to win that one.
They should be. Again, you win the winnable games. LaSalle is not bad. They're in the middle of the pack right now.
LaSalle has a lot of veteran leadership on that team.
They do. 16-12 overall, 7-6 in conference. So not a gimme game, or at least not as much as St. Bonaventure you would predict to be.
Right.
But still a winnable game for both teams to end the season on a high note before a conference play next week, or a conference tournament.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it here from the Siegel Center. Real quick, giving some scores. Grace Townsend leading the way with 15 points for Richmond. Budnick had 10, so she chomps it down a little bit more. She needs 18 in her next game to hit the 1,000 mark during the regular season, if she can make that happen. Dugan had 14. Ryan had 3. Krista Grava had 5. Rachel Alstrom had 2. Angel Burgos comes in and puts in 4 points towards the end of the game there. Griffin Wallace has 16, leading the way for VCU. Asari had 11. Parham had 3. Lewis Utsi had 2. Bloom had 3. And Walters had 2. Russ, once again, man, it has been an honor to bring you another broadcast, with you. And unfortunately, this is our last basketball broadcast of this season. And we'll be back to bring you some baseball action of this season from Richmond.
For sure. I can't wait to get started on that one. I've never been to Richmond's baseball stadium.
She
Always
pretty.
drive by going to Robin Center.
She pretty.
Yeah, I can only imagine, man. I can't wait to get started on those.
All
Hopefully
right.
get there as soon as possible.
All right, everybody. That is it. I'm your man, Darrell Owens. We got Russ Telefero. This has been the Legacy Maker Sports Network, and this has been our broadcast of VCU and Richmond. Final score here from VCU, 53-37. I'm Darrell Owens, Russ Telefero.